So it looks like the end of the world is coming. This is fun. I'm not joking. It's funny though. I, I don't know. No one listened to me. Like I literally called Bernie's. I've been calling Bernie Sanders for like the past like 4 months. Seriously, like talking to people, leaving message after message. Like, hey, bro, you need to start reaching out to black people. The Bernie Sanders campaign, who's run by a bunch of white people and like an Indian dude, none of them listen to me. Like none of them fucking listen to me, and it's just insane. You know what I mean? Like Bernie Sanders, and it's just like you've got this. Just I'm just gonna be straight up honest. You got this level of just unequivocal cowardice that comes from Bernie Sanders, and it is the utmost frustrating thing in this entire world. That Bernie Sanders at times is just an utter complete coward. And I've been supporting Bernie for a while. Like I've supported I was paying attention to Bernie Sanders when Keith Olbermann was still on MSNBC. Like I've been paying attention to politics since I was 13 years old. When I was in middle school, I would watch I literally when I was in middle school, I would come home and I would watch MSNBC. Like weird kid, not a lot of friends. Anyways, I used to watch this shit religiously because I wanted to understand the politics, the systems and structures of our society. And George Bush was just like, why do people let this happen? And Bernie Sanders would come on and he would just make all the sense in the world. I'd just look at him like, wow, he's right on everything. But he is going absolutely nowhere. You know what I mean? He's just the first. Like they're all corrupt. None of them are going to do anything. You know what I mean? And I just realized he had all the right ideas. It's just that the system hates people like him. And then he ran in 2016. I was like, holy crap! I mean, blew the hell up. I knew, like I said, I was 13 years old. I've known about Bernie Sanders. I'm 30, about to be 31 years old now. Like literally, I'm 30 years old. I've known about Bernie Sanders and supported him for 17 years. This is how long I supported Bernie Sanders. But in 2016, this dude had every opportunity to talk about how bad Hillary Clinton was. But she just kept saying sexist. You know what I mean? Like Bernie Sanders, like, why did you give speeches of Wall Street? Sexism, sexist. He's a sexist. And the Bernie bros, and it's just like, bro, you're not helping anybody. And because he wasn't. Because Hillary Clinton then went up against Donald Trump in actual sexist, and he never cared. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing. And that's exactly what he's talking about with Elizabeth Warren, who decided, oh my God, she's a joke. Like, literally, if you want to talk about integrity and issues of, like, character, you might not want to be the person who lied about being Native American for your entire life and then come out like 0.8%. I don't even know if it was 0.8. That is so funny. Like, you want to talk about an issue of like, he said, she said, probably don't be the person who lied about being a Native American and allowed the protesters up at DACA in North Dakota get completely attacked and destroyed by, the freaking militant security forces. See, that's the thing. Like, if Elizabeth Warren, fine. If you had the story of like, oh, I'm Native American, yada, 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 and you believed it. I believe that. I know that. But when Native Americans came to Elizabeth Warren, she didn't care. Like, she ignored them. Like, oh, is there a pipeline going through your lands? I'm sorry. Who are you? Why should I care? Oh, and see, that's the thing. It's like hypocrisy. Bernie Sanders, and this is the issue. I'm sorry. I digress. Bernie is a coward in so many capacities. We're not. His supporters, we're not cowards. And he attacked his own supporters to appease people who hate him. And it's that type of mentality, that type of cowardice that just drives me insane. Because Hillary Clinton was a bad candidate. Okay, she was under investigation by the FBI. Bill Clinton was a real sexist. And yet Bernie Sanders never attacked her. And Bernie Sanders thought he was being nice. What Bernie Sanders was really doing was helping elect Donald Trump. Literally. Because he didn't bring out the issues that he needed to bring out in the primaries because of the fact the media attacked him. He was just like, okay. You call me a sexist, I'm going to stop talking. You call me a sexist, I'm going to stop talking. And when Donald Trump got called a sexist, he did not stop talking. And he wiped the floor with Hillary Clinton because of the fact she was a bad candidate and an arrogant moron. Like, do you want to know how arrogant Hillary Clinton is? She spent $5 million on a fireworks show for the freaking victory of the presidency. I shit you not, nigga. She spent $5 million for fireworks. $5 million for her presidential victory. Yeah. I love that. That like it's so funny because it explains who she is as a fucking person. She has no comprehension. She has not an inch of humility. She's not a decent person. Oh, by the way, Bill Clinton wrote on Jeffrey Epstein playing 27 times. If you're a sack of worthless shit who thinks Hillary Clinton is a good person who's married to Bill Clinton, you're a piece of shit. Let me just put it out there. Also, she destroyed Libya, and now there's slavery in Libya because of the action she took as Secretary of State. So, yeah, I guess you're pro-slavery and raping of women and little girls because, Hillary Clinton freed them. It's okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay to rape children as long as the Democrats are responsible for it because you guys are horrible pieces of worthless shit. That's who you people are. Anyways. I'm going to keep it down. But yeah, so the point is inherently that at the end of the day, what is the point? I hate my life. At the end of the day, Bernie doesn't bring up any of this stuff. And I get why. He's probably talking about taking on the military-industrial complex, but what he's really doing is passively aggressively talking crap about the military-industrial complex. Meanwhile, people like Tulsi Gabbard are actually calling out the military-industrial complex, and Bernie gives her little no coverage, little no support, and it just shows that there's just a level of cowardice when it comes to Bernie. Like, bro, you don't have a hostile takeover with niceness. The world is ending, man. The world is ending, and you're sitting there playing footsie with CNN and MSNBC refusing to call them out on their bullcrap. Like, Bernie's, literally, Chuck Todd compared Bernie Sanders and his supporters to brown shirt Nazis. Chuck Todd compared Bernie Sanders' supporters to Nazis. And yet, Bernie has more vitriol and anger towards his own supporters than he does Chuck Todd. It encapsulates this dude's entire system of weakness and cowardice, unequivocally. And the other problem is that, you know what I mean? Like, Bernie has this air of just cowardice about him. Because, see, this is the other thing. Like, Bernie grew up at time of MLK. But what Bernie isn't smart enough to realize or doesn't have the freaking, I don't know what he just, the spine, the backbone. Like, MLK had a quote. I tried to tell it to him, but they don't listen to me. I mean, they listen to me a little bit. But when it came to the really important, I've been talking to the Bernie Sanders campaign for a while, giving them the best advice. Joe Biden was not viable in, I think in Iowa and New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire. And well, he's low in New Hampshire. You know why? Because of the fact Bernie Sanders attacked him on Medicare for all? No, Social Security. I'm the one who told him to make that. I was like, bro, just get 50 seconds of Joe Biden talking about he's going to cut social at 50 seconds of Bernie Sanders saying he's going to raise it. Just do that. They did it. Destroyed Biden. Destroyed him. And then he let up. Because that's who Bernie Sanders is. He would rather be nice to Joe Biden than prevent the entire world from ending. That's who Bernie Sanders is. Because he doesn't have the comprehension of actually understanding what true leadership is. Leadership is looking at a situation and understanding, I need to do this to get this done, bar none. Everything else falls secondary to that. That's what a leader does. Bernie Sanders he puts his ideals, his policies at the forefront, but he never stands up for those policies in ways that you know what I mean? He'll stand up for his policies, but if he loses, he doesn't care. And that's the problem, because he's about to get Donald Trump elected for 8 years because he's just too cowardly to stand up to Joe Biden or the corporate establishment. But his supporters aren't. We're not. I'll tell Chuck Todd to go to hell to his face, because that's what it means to take on the corporate establishment. The thing that Bernie Sanders has talked about this entire time. We need a revolution. We need to take on the corporate establishment, the Democratic establishment, the corporate media. We need to take these people on. And the second we actually take these people on, Bernie Sanders, under the most minimal amount of scrutiny, attacks his own supporters. Sincerely. And it's insane, because, attacking your own supporters like that it just divides your house. And I was thinking about this. Like, Jesus talked about, like, a house divided cannot stand. And what Jesus was really talking about was like, look, if we're moving towards a goal, if I'm saying like, yo, I want us to all care about each other. You know what I mean? Like, sincerely, like, you need to recognize the humanity in every person so we can all grow to a better, more perfect, form of humanity. It means care about women, care about slaves, care about everyone like they are you. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like, take your own sense of consciousness and understanding, put in somebody else. And when he said, like, a house divided cannot stand, what he's saying is, like, look, if I think caring about people is an imperative, then I can't have people who disagree with me. You know what I mean? Like, they agree with me 50% of the time. Well, then we're like, literally, I am working within my own house to even have stability within my own house instead of actually working towards the goals to which I want to achieve and which I really want to see. And Bernie, because he's he's weak. Like, he's fucking weak. And it's sad. Like, I don't like it. I'm not happy about it, but it's the truth. And nobody tells him the truth, which is the other problem. Like, he's got, like, Jeff Weaver and a bunch of, like, soft-spoken, spineless, just, like, dude, speak the hell up. I would yell at Bernie Sanders. I'd be like, look, bro, we're talking about humanity's extinction, you little bitch. Like, get your shit together. I'm sorry, I'm not nice. Like, I'd curse Bernie Sanders. If I would talk to him sternly, seriously, but if that didn't work, I'd be like, listen, bro, fuck, forget this job. You need to understand why you are failing so miserably. But he doesn't care. Bernie Sanders would rather the world end, humanity go extinct, than him be mean to Joe Biden, because they might say mean things about him on CNN and MSNBC. Like, that's who Bernie Sanders is as a human being, and it freaking it depresses the living hell out of me. Like, Bernie Sanders literally puts being nice to Joe Biden over the survival of the entire human race in this planet. And it's disgusting. Yeah. It really is. And it's just like nobody's telling them the truth. Like, bro, you are the reason Donald Trump became president. Bernie Sanders is the reason Donald Trump became president. You want to know why? Because he refused to attack Hillary Clinton. He refused to attack Hillary Clinton. And they blamed him for it anyways. It's hilarious. Like, he gave up. He bowed and he scraped to Hillary Clinton. He gave up, and they still blamed him for it. They blamed his supporter. They still blame his supporters. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to do the same thing. Joe Biden will get destroyed, unequivocally destroyed in 2020. Brutally destroyed. Like, Nancy Pelosi won't even be speaker destroyed. And Bernie, being the spineless coward he is, will bow to them, and after they lose, they're going to blame Bernie Sanders. They're going to hate him, they're going to despise him, and they're going to blame us, his supporters. And to me, I'm a little disgusted at his cowardice, honestly. I'm truly disgusted about how big of a coward he is, that he doesn't understand. He's talking about taking on the establishment, and when his supporters take on the freaking establishment, he chastises us because of the fact we're not all nice. We're not saying, excuse me, MSNBC, can you please stop lying? Please, sir, could you please tell the truth? Could you please tell the truth? We don't do that. We're like, no, you're a bunch of lying corporate hacks who sold out to the military-industrial complex. You ignore the horrors of Saudi Arabia. You've ignored the horrors of Libya. You ignore what the United States has done in Venezuela, and it's all because of the fact you people have no souls, decencies, or morality, and we don't care. Like, we'll tell you that to your face. We'll tell you that on Twitter. And that's what they don't like. They don't like being called out. That's what they don't like. They don't like the lack of control that they have. And you know what Bernie Sanders did? Instead of supporting us for trying to change this country, revolutionize this country, this spineless fucking coward decided to attack his own supporters. CNN has boards of the pharmaceutical industry on the head of the freaking board. So on the board of CNN, pharmaceutical industry heads. Why do you think they're not talking about the millions of Americans who are suffering because of the pharmaceutical industry? Because CNN is literally in conjunction with the pharmaceutical industry. Does Bernie bring that up? Nope, never. We do it, and they throw a hissy fit, and Bernie Sanders comes at us and chastises us. You want to know why he lost in Super Tuesday? Because this dump decided to attack his own supporters instead of CNN and MSNBC. Bernie Sanders has more hatred towards his own supporters than he does CNN and MSNBC, and it just shows what a goddamn coward he is for it. He's such a fucking coward for that shit. And it drives me unequivocally nuts because we're talking about the end of fucking humanity, and this dude can't get his shit together enough to just say, you know what, I'm gonna stand with my supporters because my supporters are looking to end these endless wars, are looking to give Medicare for all to every American, are looking to end homelessness. That's what my fucking supporters are fighting for. CNN and MSNBC is fighting against all that. CNN and MSNBC want to continue to have people die because they're too poor to afford life in the medical industry. The people at CNN and MSNBC want to continue to have homeless people who die on the street, single mothers who don't have enough to feed them. So you want to know why? Because the people who work at CNN and MSNBC, they're good. And because they're good, the world is good. And that's who Bernie Sanders is kowtowing to. And it's pathetic. It's pitiful. It is fucking pitiful. And it drives me nuts. And he's trying to get, people who hate him. You know what I mean? Bernie thinks that there's honest criticism against him. Like, the people who are criticizing are honest. They're not honest. And it pisses me off that he's too stupid to realize, like, oh, they're just trying to get me to destroy my own supporters so I lose. I should not listen to these people. But no. You don't get that. And I warned him about this. I warned him, like, Bernie Sanders, you know what Bernie did? Like, we came out in droves to defend Bernie Sanders. When Elizabeth Warren lied about him and the media was like, yeah, Bernie Sanders is a sexist. He has a women problem. Women in Bernie Sanders movement came out in droves to defend him. And everybody came out to defend him against Elizabeth Warren. And Elizabeth Warren called Bernie Sanders a secret lying sexist on national television. And we put snake emojis. And which one of those do you think is worse? Like, we literally just put snake emojis. We weren't like, we're going to murder you. We just snake emoji. And Bernie attacked us for defending him. Who the fuck wants to work for or support a spineless sack of shit like that? I know I don't. I mean, I do. I don't want to support him because he's, he's the best option we got. I think Bernie Sanders is a very decent person. I think he's a really good human being. I also think he's a goddamn coward, and cowards are not very inspiring. You know what I mean? It's just flat out like, you mean I'm going to defend you, you're going to attack me for defending you? Like, Bernie Sanders did what Joe Biden did to Joe Biden was like, don't vote for me, vote for other Biden. Oh my God. Like, I'm looking forward to Joe Biden just getting destroyed by Donald Trump. Like, it will be hilarious. And I'm just going to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And the DNC, oh, bro, Donald Trump is going to come after these people so hard. Like Chuck Schumer has, oh my God, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Anyways, in neat ways. What was I saying? This world is not looking like it has. I don't think this can be, I don't know if it can be, we'll see. But, oh my God, it's going to be horrible. But it's like Joe Biden is going to get murdered by Trump. I'm excited for it, honestly. It's just like, bro, man, I got nothing left. Like, Bernie screwed his. Oh yeah, so Joe Biden told like individuals, like, don't vote for somebody else, and people did that. Bernie Sanders literally told, don't defend me, be nice to the people attack. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to defend somebody like that? Nobody does. Like, nobody wants to defend some. I'm defending you, and you attack me. You tell me you don't want my support. You want to attack me for that? Because I'm defending you? Who the fuck do you think you are, you spineless sack of shit? Like, seriously. That's Bernie Sanders' strength was that no matter how hard the corporate media attacked him, we created a narrative of truth. And that's the one thing they couldn't control. And Bernie, being the weak, pathetic sack of shit he is, took the one advantage he had, which was we created the narrative for him to protect him. And this dumb fucking piece of shit attacks his own goddamn supporters and destroys his, because of the fact we're not excited anymore. You piece of cowardly trash, because we can't defend you. We can't even speak up for the issue because we're going to be considered hateful, and we're going to get, like, literally, we're trying to save the fucking world and humanity, and Bernie Sanders, being the piece of shit he is, wants to attack us for that shit. That's why he failed. Because he's a fucking coward. And it just drives me insane. Good human being. but a coward. And it drives me nuts, you know, like, we want a revolution, take on the establishment. And we take on the establishment, and because of the fact, you know, we're not always nice about it. He's like, hey, you don't use naughty words. Like, they're just murdering people all across the world and murdering children because they're too poor the parents are too poor to afford to save their life. They're just murdering people all across the country, raising insulin to the point that people are dying. They're doing all that, but don't say mean words to these people. They're murdering people, but don't say mean words to these people. What a joke, man. And we'll see. We'll see if his useless, spineless, cowardly strategy works. I just think that he literally put being compassionate to evil people over literally saving humanity. Everyone. Depresses the hell out of me, candidly.